What's up with it? What's up with it, man? It's the Bronco at the Pro coming at you with another reaction video. Today we got footballers who was so goddamn cold where they forced the goddamn commission to implement some rule changes, man. You know, usually I have somebody who will come to mind, you know, I add predictions on who I think I'm gonna be on here, but this is completely foreign to me. I have no clue. So I'm gonna learn a little something. Hey, tomorrow the Premier League title race comes to an end. And you will see Man City tie up with Aston Villa, Steve Gerrard, to get them boys locked in for his old club, them Liverpool boys. You never walk alone in Liverpool finna smash the Wolves. Mark my words, Liverpool will indeed win the Premier League title and then go on and beat Real Madrid and win the Champions League title. You get what I'm saying? Mark my words. Let's see what goes down.
In 1863, the English Football Association drafted the rules of the sport we all know and love. Things haven't stayed the same.
He said 18. Hold on, let me start it over.
In 1863,
1863.
the English Football Association drafted the rules of the sport we all know and love. Things haven't stayed the same since then, though. Here are 5 footballers responsible for rule changes.
That boy said 1863, bro.
Jimmy Thorpe.
Jimmy Thorpe?
Tragedy often forces things to change, and sadly, that was true in the
He
case
died?
of Jimmy Thorpe. Born in 1913, Thorpe made his debut for Sunderland as a 17-year-old. He was a talented goalkeeper who established himself as the club's first-choice shot stopper, aged just 19.
I think he
Sunderland won the
died.
First Division title in the 1935-6 campaign. Tragically, Thorpe wasn't around to see them lift the trophy. In a game against Chelsea in February, he was kicked in the head and chest by opposition players after he picked up a back pass. This was sadly common in those days, when players were allowed to challenge for the ball, even if a goalkeeper had his hands on it. Thorpe completed the match, but collapsed at home later that night. He died in hospital 4 days later due to his injuries.
Oh man, that's a lot of old sports, boy, especially American football, boy, back in them old times, boy. You know what I'm saying? Them boys came out they whole life-threatening injuries, all types of CTE and stuff like that, just because they ain't had the proper rules implemented. Like, the sport was just rougher. Even the NBA, the sport was just rougher back in the day. Like, you had the bad boy Pistons, you know, all the fouls, and then the fighting. Like, I remember one time it was a fight with Larry Bird and them. They played Charles Barkley and them. They had Larry Bird hands tied in the headlock, and dude, Dr. J spraying on his ass. Hey, back in the day, it was just rough, bro.
The laws were changed, and players were no longer able to raise their foot to a goalkeeper who had the ball under his control. When Chelsea played Sunderland
That's
in
a good rule, man.
2011, the 75th anniversary of Thorpe's death, Petr Cech and Craig Gordon wore black armbands to pay their respects. Bruce Grobbelaar, Peter Schmeichel.
Bruce Grobbelaar? What did he say?
Black armbands to pay their respects.
Hey, but first off, hand clap for Chelsea and their other club, man. That's beautiful right there.
Peter Schmeichel.
Bruce Grobbelaar
In
and Peter
1992,
Schmeichel.
football administrators made a decision that changed the game forever. No, we don't mean the creation of the Premier League.
VAR
We're
gonna be on
talking
here.
about the introduction of the back pass law. For most of football's history, goalkeepers were allowed to pick up the ball when it was passed back to them by a teammate.
You can't
This
pick
was
it up
often
now.
used as a time-wasting tactic. In a match for Rangers in 1987, Graham Souness booted the ball back to the keeper from inside the opposition's half. Souness probably learnt the trick at Liverpool. During their heyday in the 1980s, the Reds used to kick the ball back to Bruce Grobbelaar whenever they were under pressure. The final straw came at Euro 92, when Denmark stunned the continent to win the trophy. A key part of their approach that summer was getting Peter Schmeichel to hold onto the ball for as long as possible.
That's lame, bro.
FIFA abolished the back pass law after the tournament.
That is
caused
lame.
havoc early on. Goalkeepers hadn't been trained to play with their feet, but suddenly they had no alternative.
I like
The result
that.
was a comedy of errors.
Wait the rule change, boy. Why the rule change? Now, that rule change is completely vital for that, because that is so lame. Just looking at people kick it back. Imagine Atletico Madrid under that rule to where a goalkeeper could catch back passes. That'll take parking the bus to a whole new level, boy. Frank Lampard.
For a long time, FIFA and UEFA resisted calls to bring in any sort of technology. They didn't want to complicate what they saw as a...
This VAR, huh?
FIFA President Sepp Blatter said technology would kill the passion in football. UEFA acknowledged that more needed to be done, but their president, Michel Platini, didn't want cameras or sensors either. He brought in extra officials behind the goals and hoped that would solve the problem. Spoiler alert, it didn't. At the 2010 World Cup, the clamour for goal line technology became too loud to be ignored. scored. England were 2-1 down to Germany when the ball fell to Frank Lampard on the edge of the box.
Hoodoo.
His shot hit
And
the
then,
other
yep,
side of the
seen
bar
this
and
2
bounced
videos
down
ago,
over
I
the
think.
goal line. Unfortunately for England, neither the referee nor the linesman had
That
a
is
clear
crazy.
view.
It's crazy that it took y'all to 2010 to finally establish, like, something to solve that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, instant replay, look at the camera or something.
The goal wasn't given, and England went on to lose 4-1. To be fair, Germany were by far the better team that day, but England still felt hard done
Wayne
by.
Rooney.
After such a high-profile controversy, FIFA were forced to act.
Controversy.
Blatter said, "It's obvious that after the experience so far in this World Cup, it would be a nonsense to not reopen the file of technology at the business meeting of the International FA Board in July." Goal line technology was trialled at the 2012 Club World Cup before being introduced in the Premier League in the 2013.
Whoa, that's how it worked? They have watches?
Bill McCracken.
That show goal? Like, if they score, it show goal? I thought VAR was like looking back at the cameras, looking back at the replay or something. They use lasers and stuff. I didn't know that. Bill McCracken.
The offside rule is a vital part of football. It prevents goal hanging.
He started the
It
offside
encourages
rule.
better football. Without it, teams would just boot the ball long to a centre forward standing next to the opposition's goal. Offside has been tweaked several times throughout the game's history. Today, a striker needs 2 players between him and the goal when he receives the ball. Before 1925, it had to be 3 players. The man most responsible for the change
I did not
was
know
Bill
you needed
McCracken.
2.
The Newcastle defender was a master of the offside trap. He knew exactly when to step up and leave opposition
Newcastle
forwards in an offside position. McCracken shouldn't be criticised for that. He didn't break any rules.
That boy was
His
bending the
defensive
rules.
ability helped Newcastle win 3 league
That
titles
boy was
and
bending
an
them
FA Cup.
rules.
The authorities had considered changing the offside rule before. It was first discussed way back in 1893, but it was only because of McCracken's mastery of the offside trap that the lawmakers felt compelled to act. Jean-Marc Bosman.
Jean-Marc
Now, Every
Bosman.
football fan has heard of Jean-Marc Bosman,
I
even
haven't.
though they probably couldn't name any
But then again, I'm new. I'm new to the scene.
of the clubs he played for. In case you
Lego
wondered,
Mackers.
it was Standard Liège, RFC Liège, Saint-Quentin, Saint-Denis, and Olympique Charleroi.
I ain't
When
heard of none
Bosman's
of them.
contract at RFC Liège expired in 1990. He wanted to join Dunkirk, but Liège demanded a transfer fee which Dunkirk weren't willing to pay. The transfer was cancelled, and Bosman's wages were cut by 70%. This was clearly unfair, although it was within the rules at the time. But Bosman didn't just sit back and curse his luck. The Belgian set out to change the entire transfer system. He took his case to the European Court of Justice, arguing that the rules were in breach of restraint of trade. The judges agreed with him. In 1995, they ruled that footballers should be free to move clubs once their contract had expired. It was a huge moment. This was arguably the start of player power. Clubs
Yup.
could no longer hold on to footballers against their will. Several
Hey.
world-class players have taken advantage of the rule in the last 25
Hey,
years.
every
including
player.
Andre Pirlo,
Salute bro right
Robert
here.
Lewandowski, and Paul Pogba.
Salute
Kylian
him.
Mbappe could be the next big name to complete what's now known as a Bosman transfer.
Kylian Mbappe. Real Madrid boys, y'all boys don't went outside. He's announcing his decision on Sunday. Like LeBron James, he put in a LeBron James move. If he stays at Paris Saint-Germain, y'all Real Madrid boys gonna be going through it. Y'all gonna have the blues.
What do you think has been the most important?
Hey, shout out
in
Bosman,
football?
man.
Let us know in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe.
Shout out to that boy Bosman, man. That player empowerment. He's the single-handedly reason for the player empowerment movement in the goddamn football world. But hey, man, this was an interesting ass video. Let me know if y'all what other rule changes do y'all see getting changed in the future for football now. Hey, I'm out.